Hello there, world of tankers. Welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Droodles Blitz, and in today's video we'll be playing the FE217 Badger, or as I like to call it, the GOODGER. This vehicle is finally back. This tank has had such a weird and wacky history. When it was first introduced into the game, it was pretty mid. It had the top speed of 30 kilometers per hour, horrible traverse speed, and a gun that sure had decent DPM at around 3,400, but its on-movement dispersion was so garbage it couldn't hit anything. The first version of the Badger was genuinely not very fun or enjoyable. Then Wargaming buffed calibrated shells, which made its armor even worse, and yeah, it wasn't doing great. But Wargaming decided, okay, fine, this tank's been pretty bad for a while, let's give it more DPM. So it then had 3,800 DPM, which it still has today. They also decided, okay, that's not enough, let's buff its traverse speed to more traverse speed than, like, mediums have. They were on, like, this buffing TD traverse speed frenzy. They did it for the Jagdtiger as well, and these tanks turned ridiculously fast. Although the Badger was a little too strong, and Wargaming nerfed it after that update. And because of that nerf, the Badger went back to being kind of mediocre on its overall capabilities because it would be outmaneuvered by just about anything with tracks at an engine. However, Wargaming has finally put the Badger in a pretty crazy state, because with calibrated shells getting nerfed, enhanced armor getting buffed, and this vehicle getting an on-movement dispersion buff pretty recently, it all kind of accumulates into the Badger being quite the capable vehicle. I mean, let's start off with the armor. This thing's upper plate is about 330 thick at the minimum, which means if you want to cut through this vehicle, you're going to need 354 mils of heat. Now, that sounds like a little bit of pen if you're using a tank destroyer, but if you're using something like an E5, this is an E5 with Cali with 364 pen on flat ground, and if you're using your gun depression, yeah, there's no virtual weak spot anywhere. You physically cannot pen a hull down Badger. And if you're in your average tier 10 heavy, let's say 340 mils of pen, which is what you're going to see in literally most tier 10s, yeah, you can't pen the Badger anywhere. It's physically impossible to pen a Badger, even on flat ground with most of your tier 10s. So basically what's going on here is now the Badger really is the GOODGER. You're not going to be able to pen this thing when it's using gun depression or when it's really on flat ground, as long as it's hiding that lower plate. And even the lower plate, as we can see, if angled properly, is incredibly troll, requiring you to load gold because it's over 270 thick. Even the track wheels are ridiculously strong on this vehicle because they're 26 mils plus the spaced armor and everything. It's got pretty crazy armor. If that's not enough, the Badger also features a very dangerous gun. This tank has pretty decent dispersion and on-movement dispersion, 3,800 DPM, and it even features Hesh. So, yeah, I genuinely believe that the Badger is one of the best tier 10s now. It really is. This is one of those vehicles that was really relying on a buff on its armor. That was always the biggest problem with this tank, was that it just kind of got buttered through by most tier 10s that loaded gold. But now that it doesn't really have that problem, the Badger doesn't really care anymore. It just deals the damage. 3,800 DPM is crazy as well. I mean, that's a 7.3 second reload for 460 damage per shot. Vehicles like the Atlas have 480 damage, and they have over a 10-second reload, so it's a great example of just how much damage this thing can output. The Badger also features a decent top speed of 36-ish kilometers per hour now, which honestly isn't that horrible, unlike our 777, who has no clue what he's doing. But yeah, we're going to head towards mid, and we'll play it by ear. What's interesting about the Badger is that on hard terrain, it actually has really good traverse speed, but on medium terrain, it has really bad traverse speed. So you have to be really careful on how you're driving this thing. We have two mediums, neither of which have decided they actually want to play like mediums, so that really sucks, specifically for me. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. We do have the 777 coming over here, so that's at least a little bit of support. We have the 5. Oh, this is not necessarily good. Alright, let's see. We got the 5 right here, and we do get a nice 400 damage shot into them. And the 1-2 unbounces us, which is pretty good. However, oh, we got the Vickers as well. Ah! Perfect shell into the weak spot on the Vickers, and no damage. Alright, let's try again. Okay. I bounced the hatch of the Vickers this time. My bad, Wargaming. Clearly, my perfectly aimed shells that are going where I'm aiming should be bouncing. Okay, well, the 777's not playing the best. In fact, nobody on our team is. They're all dead already. And the Badger only reverses at a few kilometers per hour, which is not great. We're going to angle the vehicle, as I said. If you angle it properly, the armor is genuinely very strong in this thing, which means that you can get a lot of bounces. And Vickers Light is literally the luckiest player known to humankind. I can't believe they're getting so many bounces. Alright, let's go for a tracking shot, which at least locks the Vickers down. The Yo is going to shoot me, and nobody on our team is going to do anything about the no camo Yo. Yay. At least we get a nice shell. I'm going to move up this way, and let's see if I can get another... No, that was never going to hit. God, our team sucks, dude. What are we doing? Genuinely, what are we doing as a team? We got the Vickers above me, we got the E5 above me, got the 50 TP. Get a nice shot into him once, and let's angle my vehicle. Alright, well the 50 TP made the cardinal sin of trying to rush a Badger, which, yeah, that was a bad play on his part. He basically just killed himself. I don't know if he can pen me anywhere. However, of course, now we have the Vickers on my rear, who is going to try and shoot me. Oh, actually, it's the Yo. Oh, okay. Well, let's take the 50 TP out of the game. And now we have the 121, who is also going to try and take me out of the game. Uh-huh. Yeah, how's that working out for you? Let's just angle my vehicle a little bit more, angle it like this, and bye. Okay, we have the minnow on my side, and turning. Okay, we're not dead yet. Let's aim it on that minnow lower plate. Actually, I can't. There you go. Nice pen into the minnow once. Wow. The fact that we're alive, the fact that we've blocked over 3,000 damage, and everything else is pretty insane. Once again, the Badger is a crazy good vehicle, and the armor really showed its merits in this game. Will the minnow poke us? I don't know. I would say they probably will, but there's only one way to find out. And it looks like they actually aren't, which is a little surprising to me. Let's go for a gold shell. Dang, I was really hoping we could pen that minnow in the turret, but obviously not able to. However, the minnow is going to go for me, and our shell bounces his turret, unfortunately. I really can't get that mad, though. Going for me instead of the Atlas and Caro actively rushing you is a pretty bad play. So I'll take it. Yeah, the Badger did really good this game. Like, way better than I expected it to. Their whole team tried rushing us. It did not go well at all for them. We did 4,500 damage, we blocked 3,280, and single-handedly did everything, especially with our 777 dealing 0 damage and just falling apart in front of us. But that's what the Badger does. It has enough armor that people like this 121 think they can get away with YOLOing you, and little do they realize that they can't pen you anywhere with standard ammo, and even if their gold sucks, so they're really going to struggle to pen me. And sure, the traverse speed might not be the best, but I was on hard terrain there, so I was actually able to get my tank to turn fast enough to stop that 121 from cutting through me. That 50 TP had virtually no possibility of cutting through me, and with my 3,800 DPM, and I'm pretty sure I had adrenaline active, there was nothing that player could have done. The only situation that we were actually doing kind of mid in was our gun constantly missing that Vickers lights. That player got so incredibly lucky. We bounced their hatch once, we hit them in the side of the turret once and it bounced. The fact that that thing's a light tank and it's getting that many bounces is a little insane. But either way, let's see what we can do. Let's head over towards base B and try and support our team. As I mentioned, the thing that's interesting about the Badger is it's actually not that slow. It has a top speed of 36-ish, maybe even 38. I always forget which one it is, but it has a decent top speed, and as you'll notice, it can actually get up to that speed pretty quickly. Like the Błyskawica goes 45, and yet it's only slightly out-accelerating us because that tank has such a bad power-to-weight. But the Badger, alongside most British tanks, actually features a pretty solid power-to-weight ratio. So we have the enemy Błyskawica, who does get shot, and wow, they get shot pretty hard. That's basically their whole game taken away already. I'm going to just drive into the dip. There's really no reason for me not to. We get a 645 bounce. That's from... what is that from? 645? I don't even know what that would be, to be totally real. But we're just going to move over here. We're going to aim it on the side of the Błyska. Oh, okay. Ah, E100. That makes sense. Okay. And he fires HE already. The skill is really skillening. Get a nice shot into the enemy Błyskawica. And let's see if we can get one more, taking this player out of the game. Boom. There you go. Of course, the Badger shoots me and rolls 540. Did you know that the Badger has a 540 alpha gun? Evidently it does. Alright, well, we're going to chill here. We get a bounce from the Badger. And now we have the Super Conk on me, who we are also going to hit. There you go. Nice. Let's back up. I'm going to chill here, because I do have team support. Okay. Yep, here we go, here we go. Gotta jump off because I'm a piece of garbage who can't do anything but YOLO. Good job. Uh-huh. Yep, no, you don't get to shoot me. Yeah, goodbye. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else want to YOLO the Badger? Please give me room. Please give me room. Okay, nice. We get a shell into the 100. Give me room. It's not that hard to give your teammate room, buddy. Thank you. I'm like the only thing that's keeping us alive right now. I have to be really careful about that E100. Okay, I'm gonna back up just like this. It's aiming on the E100. There you go, 533. I don't think he enjoyed that very much. And let's reload again. There you go. He's gone. We have the grill, who I wouldn't be surprised if they try jumping off to tunnel me. Right now it seems like a lot of people. Yep, there you go. I called it. I knew it. Okay, let's angle my vehicle just like this. Unfortunately, the grill was able to finally cut through us. Well, we did pretty good. 3,700 damage. I mean, we got tunneled like crazy. Don't worry, though. We have our 60 TP. Didn't know you were a medium. 60 TP. Good job. Yo, guys. I'm going to drive my super heavy to the medium flank and do nothing but screw over my team. Thankfully, it looks like we should still win, but it's very frustrating when you're fighting your frickin' butt cheeks off and you have a 60 TP going over to the medium flank. He says, you know, the medium's lost. Well, this might sound crazy, guys, but maybe if the 60 had gone to the heavy flank and we'd instantly killed the Super Conk and the 100 and the Błyskawica, we wouldn't have had to worry about the mediums flanking us because they would have died. Just saying. General rule of thumb, if you're in a heavy, you go to the heavy flank. If you're in a medium, you go to the medium flank. You're going to be much better off in a heavy pushing the heavy flank than you are going all the way over to the medium flank and screwing over the vehicles that don't have health, right? That's how I look at it. But either way, once again, the Badger did great. I really can't complain. We were in a very annoying situation there because their team literally went out of their way to try and focus us. Like, no matter what I did, it felt like we were being focused. The enemy E100, if I had pushed up any further, would have shot me. The grill jumps off to try and shoot me. The Badger jumps on me to try and shoot me. I mean, basically, every single player on their team went out of their way to try and focus us. And you can see one of the reasons why I do like Supremacy. Oh. Okay, there you go. I was going to say, one of the reasons I do like Supremacy is because it forces enemies, even in light tanks, to make plays, where if you're playing Encounter, that light tank could have just ran away and never done anything the entire game. Either way, we did 3,672 damage, which is a pretty good battle. That places us top on the team. I really can't complain. My advice to anybody is drive your heavies to the heavy flank. Your role isn't to be a medium. If they flank us, then we can deal with it then, but forcing the Badger and the Błyskawica to do the role of a frontline heavy, I get it, but come on. Either way, let me know what you guys think about the Badger in the comments. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.